It's been over 2 months since The Last Guardian released, and yet I'm gonna review it anyway. It's that good. I just recently beat the game after taking a month break due to the frustration this game provided, and yes, it's a big frustration. I have a lot to say about the game, so let's just begin with the story, and I'll try to be as vague as possible and show very little of the game's later part of the gameplay, just due to the nature that a lot of people don't want to be spoiled nowadays, and I get that. The game starts you off playing an unnamed boy waking up next to a gigantic beast, clueless of how you got there. The beast is a combination of a cat, dog, and bird, I believe, and you have a lot of questions, but you just go with it, and yes, your journey just began. The way The Last Guardian works in terms of gameplay is you have to maneuver around this long lost civilization, crumpled down city where it can break at any moment and falling down to the abyss, and yet you maneuver around the city through small and big areas, helping each other out in the long run. Trico wouldn't be able to survive without the boy, and vice versa. And with these two unlikely companions helping each other out, a trust and a kind of bond forms that's unlike any other game, just due to the fact that Trico's a bird/dog and not an actual human companion. You really start to feel that Trico actually does have a personality, and honestly, Trico has more of a personality than most companions do in any game out there. The way Trico runs after finally being exposed to the outside after completing a long journey through a cave just gives a sense of realism into this world. And talking about the world, the atmosphere is great. Honestly, I might even say that The Last Guardian has the best atmosphere I've played in a game ever, and that's probably fighting with BioShock. Throughout the game, I feel like the game shines when it opens out to the outside areas where you could fall down into the abyss at any moment. Being a little boy in these areas, it finally opens up your eyes to why you need Trico and why Trico needs you, as you simply wouldn't be able to make the big jumps that Trico can make, and vice versa with the little boy and helping Trico get past. And yes, I stress that because that is a big selling point to this game and building this relationship into the end game. The game surprisingly has a lot of epic set pieces, and I'd even say it has more set pieces than Uncharted 4 does, and that says a lot. You could tell by the E3 demo what this game has to offer in terms of set pieces, so I won't spoil anything here, but trust me, when you get to these moments after having a lot of frustration in gameplay, it's really worth it. And talking about frustration, let's get into the bad side of the game, and sadly there is quite a lot of it. Let's start out with the controls. The controls are, let's say, put it simply, bad and clunky. The game feels like you're playing a PS3 game on a PS4, and I'm not even exaggerating that one bit, it definitely does feel like that. And with that, it causes the boy to miss a lot of jumps that you think you can make, and with that, the frustration comes into the game. A lot of people complain about the controls being very bad and clunky, and while for the most part I do agree with that, that's not where I had my main con with the game. The main frustration that the game gave me was the interaction with Trico. Trico has a tendency to not listen to you, and while a lot of people do say that it is because of the AI and it's a pet, but at the same time, waiting half an hour just for Trico to finally listen to you, make that big jump, or fit into a small little hallway is not justified one bit. In fact, this frustrated me so much that I actually did talk about this on Twitter and ended up quitting the game and not coming back to it until a month later. And I'm not even exaggerating about that one bit. It was that bad. Coming back to the game though, I immediately got sucked back into the atmosphere and nature of the story, and yes, that's where the game is in the strong suit. I'd say that if you guys did play Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, you guys do know what to expect here. And honestly, if that's what you want in a video game, I don't need to say anything more. Close down this game, don't hear anything more about it, and just buy the game and enjoy it a lot. Trust me, you will not be regretting that. Talking past Trico's frustration and not listening to you, I have to say though, that is not the main issue with the game. It's one of them out of the two. And the second part is, the game is not clear at what you're supposed to do at all. And while I do have a pro for that, because the game does really feel realistic in terms of that, just look at games like Mirror's Edge and Uncharted 4. They make it really clear where you're supposed to jump on, where you're supposed to climb, and Last Guardian doesn't do that. It actually makes it very more logically what you think you can make and what you know, trial and error. And with that, it makes it feel like the most believable environment I've played in a game yet. And honestly, I think this game has a lot going for it in terms of that. What may be seen as a con by most, I actually found the pros within that. Talking about the negatives that can't be overlooked in any pros whatsoever, let's talk about the frame rate issues in the game. And I guess this is mixed. I did try to count how many massive frame drops I did in the game, and ultimately I got into a total of 5 or 6 frame drops, and those are massive ones, leaving you down to low 1-digit numbers, and yeah, it's that bad, but only 5 or 6, that's not really that bad, and ultimately you'll be able to get past it, and honestly, the game runs smooth for the most part, so there's no problems really there. It's clear that this game runs a lot better on the PS4, and I'm glad I'm not playing on a DualShock 3, that's for sure. I don't think I would have been able to take the controls and the controls of the DualShock 3 together and play this game. No, I would not do that. That's practically torture. In the end, am I saying The Last Guardian is perfect? No, not at all. The game actually has a lot more flaws than most games to this day, but beyond that, the experience playing it was like no other, and honestly, I'm not one to cry during video games, and I did not cry during The Last Guardian, but I can say that it did make me a lot more, I guess, emotional, affected than probably a game has before, and yeah, that's shocking. The Last Guardian is surprisingly amazing despite the frustration that comes with it. The game plays like a PS3 game, and even had me wanting to scream at the TV at some points. But past that is a journey you're not going to forget for years to come, and honestly, I'd say that this is an exclusive that I'm not going to forget, and I'm going to see as one of the PS4's shining exclusives. That's something I didn't think I was going to say about The Last Guardian in terms of how frustrated I was in the beginning of this game, but when it comes full circle, it was completely worth it. In the end, I give The Last Guardian a 9 out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of review I did. If you guys did like this type of review, make sure to let me know in the comments down below or leave a like. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I know a lot of you have overlooked The Last Guardian in terms of the way it looks, and it's not like a big AAA game that you might expect with like things like Call of Duty or Battlefield, but honestly, I do feel like a lot of people overlook this despite the hype this game had for maybe being in 9 years of development. And yeah, it's kind of sad to see, because this game honestly does a lot of things that a lot of games don't do. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Go pick up The Last Guardian, give it a chance, and yeah, with that being said, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out.